everybody, and welcome to another attempt at season 12. Welcome to Just Saying, and we're going to have a good show today. We are back. I am back. I had to take some time off. I'll explain it all here in just a little bit. And there's apparently a rumor that I'm going to kibosh right now that some friends have told me. And it deals with someone in this room right now. But we'll get to all that here in just a minute. But first, I have to answer the question that you've all been dying to hear the answer to for over a year. That's right. What is Josh drinking? On the show today, I'm drinking nothing else but good old Mountain Dew. Pepsi Go. Oh. So besides my weight, a lot has changed. I got a new job. I start here in a couple weeks, which is leading me to an issue that I don't know how to deal with. And I say that because, so here's the story. I got a new job, and the first day of training is for 3 days in another city. And in the 7 years I've had my dog, I have never left her overnight. It's causing me some anxiety. I know she's going to be fine, but it's just like, I got her from a shelter. So is she going to think I'm leaving her? I don't want to board her because I'm afraid that's what she'll think, and plus I can't afford it. And I don't know. Maybe I'm freaking out over nothing. Please let me know. Should I be worried? I know I should be worried. She's a dog. And I know that whoever I decide to take care of her, I wouldn't choose them because they wanted to hurt her. So I know she'll be taken care of, and the person who I'm looking at doing it took care of my dad's dogs when he would leave every time. So, I mean, it's one of my nephews. So, I mean, I know that this person wouldn't come in and do everything they can do to hurt my dog. And I have cameras in the house. But yeah, so, yeah. Anyway, so just comment below and let me know that I'm just overreacting and my brain needs to calm down. Because I am freaking out over it. She's just cool as a cucumber. Anyway. So one day last week, we've been having a lot of power issues lately. And I would say, except for this story that I'm about to tell you, I would say about we've had 7 power outages since the new year. Don't know why, but we have. Well, the last time it happened was a couple weeks ago, and I guess what happened, and keep in mind, I live in a small town. What I hear may not be gospel as to what happened. It's a small town. People talk. I'm not saying my source is not reliable. I'm just saying there's 5 sides to every story in a small town. The truth and how everyone else spins it. So from what I have heard is that this person driving started having a seizure, was almost hit a pedestrian. Instead, they hit a pole and broke it in half. So apparently the person is okay, which is the most important thing. But I'm sitting here without knowing what's going on because my car is stuck in my garage. Yeah, obviously the door's electric, and yeah, there's a pull cord, but it's broken. And it's literally, I don't know why they put it in such an odd place. It's always above the car. Did you ever notice that? If you're listening out there and you make garage doors, make one that disconnects it somewhere else. Because if you're going to disconnect it in the cars in the garage, it's literally going to be over the car. Who can reach it anyway? Off the soapbox. Sorry. So I'm sitting at home. I have no idea what's going on. I'm mad because this is probably the 3rd time in 2 weeks that we had lost power. And then I get the message that it was going to take 12 hours to fix. And I just, yeah. And then I found out what happened and I felt bad. It was okay. So here's the next story that happened while I was gone. As you all know, if you haven't heard, you've been living under a rock. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged. Good for them. You know, seeing them together is just like two best friends that haven't seen each other in a while. That is going to be the only reference to that I'm going to make. I had to slide a joke in somehow. And if you can't tell, I have a studio audience, but they're told to be quiet. Let's try that again because I totally ruined it. I have a studio audience, but they're told to be quiet. AKA, for some odd reason, my iPhone will no longer connect to my home device. Don't know why, but it won't. And I haven't figured it out yet. And one way I have been told to do it is reset my phone. And I ain't doing that. Sorry. Anywho, what I think happened was that my Alexa's out of date for my phone because it's like a version 3. I mean, it's an old version. So I'm thinking that's what's going on and the iPhone is just too new for it. We'll see. I don't know. You know me and technology. It's a disaster. Much like my dog snoring next to me. She is not happy with me today. Because I got up and I had a wild hair at my butt. And I filmed this episode yesterday. But the camera was far away. My furniture was pushing everything. I just didn't like it. So I deleted the video and rearranged my entire family room today. And she's not happy because she, like her father, hates change. And I'm not happy with it right now, but it's the way it's gotta be. So, I'm moving on. Let's see here. What else is going on? So, here's a sad story. And I hate starting shows with a sad story. And it's kind of a funny story, though. Which is only why I'm putting it in the show. So, my sister, as you can remember, my sister Betty Sue and Mary Lou. Betty Sue and I have this ongoing thing. Well, she hates it, but I love it because I love to annoy her. She buys me every holiday. I get new shoes. Every holiday. But every time she sees me, I'm in, as I'm taking them off right now, these ratty things. I mean, the toe is ruined. I mean, there's no laces in it. There's no tread whatsoever. I mean, they're shot. I would love to throw them away. However, it annoys my sister that I keep them and that I still wear them. So, yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. However, when I'm sitting at my desk, I like to kick my shoes off. I don't know why. I just do. And then I remember, oh, wait, that stenches my feet. And I put my shoes back on. But the other day when I went to put my shoes back on, now we're going to pretend my hand is my foot, okay? I'm under the desk, and I start to put my foot in, and I'm like, wait, something's not right here. My whole side of my shoe ripped open. So I sent a picture, I sent an email, or a text blast out to my family, and hold on, I'm putting the shoe back on now. And I said something, I took a picture of my foot going through the hole, and I said something along the lines of, well, I think it's time to say goodbye, or something like that. And my sister, Betty Sue, replied, haha, about time. And then, I love my father. I love my dad. My dad messages me. We're going to call my dad Elmer. I don't know if my dad ever had a name, but you guys know me and old people names. I love them, and that's just the name that popped into my head. So we're going to say Elmer. My dad, Elmer, is on a cruise right now. And so I didn't expect him to even reply, let alone get the message, because he has to be on Wi-Fi or something to get him. And the next thing I know, I get a message from my father, Elmer, that says, and I quote, duct tape in a garage. Stay tuned to next episode. That's all I'm going to say. I've got a big Sharpie here. I will color it black if I have to. But I will say, there are times where, like, I wear them all the time. And normally I just have these shoes. Before you guys email and say, get rid of the damn shoes, Josh, the only reason, besides to annoy my sister to hell, I keep them is to go outside with. Like the new shoes that she keeps getting me, if it's muddy or snowing, I'm not wearing them outside. I'm not getting them dirty. These are raggedy. My feet still go in them for now. I mean, I'm just going to wear them out in the mud. But I wear them around the house like they're slippers. Even though I have a pair of slippers. I told my sister one year for Christmas that I wear these shoes as my slippers around the house. So she bought me slippers, and I don't wear the slippers. I still wear the shoes. Because then I have to change them to go take my dog out, and then I forget I have them on, and then I just continue wearing them. It's just, I'm bizarre, okay? I just hate when I do end up at Dollar General and realizing, oh shit, I still have those shoes on. So, anywho, watch next week. I may have an update for the shoes. We'll see. Yeah, so stay tuned next week. We're going to pretend, as I said before, that season 12 so far, even though I've made about 12 episodes of a season 12, is not happening. We never did it. The videos will stay up because why not? Why take them down? But yeah, those never happened. We are starting over with season 12 right now. And I did some math, and if you take those episodes out, and I think I did 8. I did 4 the first time I tried it, then I did 8, and then I did a special one. And so if you take those 13 out, I think I'm like 30 away from my 150th show. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep it going, though. I'm going to try to keep it going. Excuse me. Let's see. I talked about that. Talked about that. See, I got a new teleprompter on my new laptop. I got a new laptop for, I think it was my birthday. It's touchscreen, and I love it, even though I never use the touchscreen. But I'm scrolling through. I'm used to my note cards. I can just flip my note cards and see where I'm at. Here I have to scroll through my script and figure out where I have, where I left off. So here we go, because if there's a setting where I can let it roll. But y'all know me. I get off on a tangent like I just did. This isn't in the script. But I digress. So here is the rumor that my friend group is already annoying me with. So let me just start off by saying Producer Man is back. He took another job within his company. He's back on the show, or he's back in town, therefore he's helping with the show. When I told my friends, after he came back, and when I told some people that I was going to start doing my show again, or that I was thinking about doing this show again, you don't know how many people started putting together that, oh, Producer Brand's back. That's why he quit, is because he didn't have his buddy there. That is not why I quit. And I didn't just randomly decide to start shooting my show again because he came back. I could care less. He never ends up on the show. I just sit here and pick on him. And it's great because he doesn't want to be seen on camera or heard. So why not make fun of him when I can? And he can't retaliate. Unless he plans my birthday show. Then I'm screwed. But he was nice the last time he did it. But my mom had just died, so we'll see what happens next time if I let him do my birthday show. So yeah, that is not true. I ended the show kind of abruptly. If you remember, I had passed my test. I was looking for a job, and it just kind of and then I was starting a new job and starting a new career, and it just got to a point where something had to go. And unfortunately, the thing that, I sit here, I can have fun doing it. I didn't have the time or energy because I still say that taking a 2-year course in 9 months and as much hard work as we had to do to put into that class, it wiped me out. I don't want to say for 2 years, but it wiped me out. And then I had to start a whole new life, a whole new routine, a whole new everything. And I just realized that my microphone is across the room. But we're just going to keep going with it. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's why I ended. Something just had to go. And then I lost my job, that we will not get into. But I lost my job, and again, start my new one here in a couple weeks. And things just, after I lost my job, I've been sitting here watching the same show, the same season, every day. And I just got to think to myself, you know what? I could be putting this effort into doing a show right now. Take my mind off of what's going on, because good Lord, we all know who the President of the United States is again. And I'm not saying I'm a Trumper or non-Trumper or anti-Trumper. I'm not that. I despise the man with all my being. But I used to watch The Apprentice. I had the first season on DVD. I had his board game. I never tried his vodka because I was too young. But the point is, I used to like the man. I just don't agree with his policies. I don't agree with what he's doing. And I'm only going to go off on a short tangent, and then I'm going to stop it. But one thing that he ran on was no more forever wars, is what he called them. No more regime change wars. No regime change wars. And we're in 2 of them now. Or we've done 2 of them now. I mean, it's just, he totally, and then turns around and half of his cabinet saying it's a war, the other half is saying it's not a war. Get on the same page, because if it's a war, you did it without congressional approval. So that's why they don't want to admit that it's a war. I digress. There's a lot of things that happened in the year and a half that I was gone while he was in presidency, the ICE stuff that I'm not going to talk about, and basically everything else that I'm not going to talk about, because I could sit here forever and go off. And I don't want to lose viewers because of my beliefs. I don't want to lose viewers because of my despise for someone. If a Republican ran for president and I liked them, I would vote for them. I have voted for Republicans. I have voted for Democrats. I don't know what the term for me is, independent. I don't know, but I just vote for who I think is the best candidate. And I'm not saying I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't. All I can say is I had seen what Trump did in the past, and I didn't want to go through that again. And we're going through it again. I am trying to decide how much more to go into. I am not telling you to vote Democrat. I am not telling you to vote Republican. I am not telling you not to vote, because your voice matters. And I just want people to know that with midterms coming up, think about that. I'm not saying Trump hasn't done great things. He did get 2 hardcore leaders out of offices, but now we have countries laughing at us. We pulled out of who? That did not sound right. The World Health Organization, which because of the whole COVID thing. Like I don't. It's gotten too ridiculous, and how he renamed the Gulf of Mexico. I'm sorry, it's Mexico's land. Well, it's water, but it's Mexico's property. We can't rename other people's property. We're not going to take over Greenland, or Iceland, or whatever you wanted to take over. Canada is not going to be the 51st state. The countries he threw a bunch of tariffs at now want their money back because they were found to be unconstitutional. I just don't know how else to say what he has done, not the Republicans, what he has done is not what this country needs, and we need balances. Right now, House and Senate are both Republican. He's got free will of doing everything. We need checks and we need balances. I'm not saying vote the Democrats in, vote independents, Vote Republicans if you believe in them. Believe what they say. I don't care who you vote for. All I'm saying is think about what has happened since he has been in office. Midterms are coming up. You make the decision. Getting off my soapbox. Here we go. And I'm going to try not to talk so political. That is hopefully the last political story I have for you. Besides jokes and like our rundown stories. But I'm not going to harp on one side or the other. I will tell you the story as I read it, from where I read it, and if there's a diehard Trump fan, Trump supporter, that would like to call in, we can do a Zoom meeting where you're not on camera if you don't want to be. Come in person, I don't care, and let's talk about stuff. This world needs to have a conversation. Anyway, moving along. Because I don't want to push, to end what I was saying there, I don't want to push away Republicans from watching the show because I'm going off on their president. I'm not. I'm showing you one side. While I think he's done great things, obviously I can't name them because all we hear about are the negative things. The stock market's not doing so great. Okay, I'm stopping. Anyway, moving along. So, great news for me, bad news for you guys. LateNightLOL.com is working again. So I am going to start doing my cheesy monologues. I do have the cheesy monologue intro. However, I forgot to put it into the program for the show today. So we're going to pretend that the cheesy monologue intro went through, okay? All right, so as you all know, I went to our friends at LateNightLOL.com. In the search bar, typed in, you all know here at the show, we love to hear about researches and we love to hear about new studies because why can't people spend money on studies that make no sense and or don't matter? So I thought I'd do some research or do my own research on some of those jokes. So without further ado, here we go. It's time for another cheesy monologue. Typed in research, and then it only gave me like 7 jokes that I liked. And then I typed in studies, only gave me 7 that I liked. Then I typed in research, found a few more. So here we go. While they all are outdated, they're all hilarious and all have something to do with study or research. I didn't read the script. Figure skater Michelle Kwan graduated from the University of Denver on Saturday with a degree in international studies. She finished with a GPA of 4.0, 4.0, 3.9, 4.0, and from her Russian class, 2.6. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you is that, I told you I just didn't finish. I can't connect my phone, my soundboard, to my Alexa anymore. Wah, wah. So I'm going to have to do my own voices, my own sounds. And that is why our studio audience that we have is completely silent today. We duct tape their mouth shut. I don't want to know if they're laughing, because they have to hear them anyway. I'm kidding, I don't have an audience. Besides my dog, and she's sleeping if that tells you anything. Studies are showing that Republican candidates are buying a lot of ad time on the Weather Channel, and you can tell because last night the weatherman blamed the cold front on immigration and gay marriage. It's getting sad. NASA is currently recruiting people for their REST studies, a program in which participants will be paid $18,000 to spend 70 days in their bed while smoking different kinds of marijuana. Unfortunately, they've only gotten about 100... I'm sorry, let me start that over. I totally ruined the joke. Unfortunately, they've only got about 1 billion applicants. So, I applied. 2 new government studies report that Americans' obesity problem is getting worse. Both studies, however, did come with a Happy Meal. So that's good news. New research claims that 12% of the websites out there are porn related, while the other 88% direct you to other... I need to learn how to do my show again. Or learn how to read. Whatever. New research claims that 12% of websites out there are porn, and the other 88% are sites to help direct you to porn. It was funnier if I didn't have to redo it, okay? New research shows that elderly people emit a distinct odor. The study was conducted by two guys stuck in an elevator with Rudy Giuliani. Here's a new study. According to new research, you may be at risk of bacterial infections from clothing that you buy at the mall. Experts say that the story you should most avoid is Victoria's really disgusting secret. So, now this story really bothers me, and I'll tell you why at the end here, because it's the punchline. According to new research, it's probably my joke of the week, even though I haven't officially named it my joke of the week. We're going to say that it's my joke of the week. Doo-doo-doo! That's my fake soundboard. According to new research by the Journal of Sexual Medicine, size does matter when it comes to pleasing a woman in bed. The study doesn't bother me. It's the fact that the article was taped up on my dad's refrigerator. And apparently, producer man doesn't know how to spell refrigerator. Kidding, I typed it. Is there a D in refrigerator? Isn't it Ridge? Apparently, let's try that again. Apparently, Barry Manilow announced today that he was gay. Also, scientific research found that the sky is blue, sugar is sweet, and lots of interesting things happen today in the news. So, and finally, and you all breathe a sigh of relief, new research suggests that men who drink at least 6 cups of coffee are at lower risk... I really need to learn how to read. Or slow down. One of the two. New research suggests that men who drink at least 6 cups of coffee are at lower risk of prostate cancer. You thought healthcare was expensive before, just wait until you have to buy it at Starbucks. All of that, and it didn't work. Oh well. So it is time to get caught up on the things that have recently happened in this week's edition of The Rundown. I hate starting off with a sad story, but unfortunately I have to. I was going to do it at the end, but then I was like, nah, because I kind of want to pep us up from this story. But it's kind of an interesting story. It's a sad ending. But the body of 7-year-old Skylar Hobson was found, who is a nonverbal autistic child. Her body was found at the bottom of a retention pond on Wednesday, shortly after her mom reported her missing. They're not quite sure how she got there. They did know that she left the house with her iPad. And apparently I don't know much about autism, but apparently bodies of water are really bad for autistic children. If you know why, please comment below. But yeah, they found her in the bottom. They don't know if that was where she intended to go or how she got there. And they are checking cameras from around the area just to see if she was walking alone or had a ride or whatever. So here's another interesting story. Travis Kelce has been announced as the new face of Six Flags. Apparently, he invested some money a while back in one of the Six Flags theme parks, and this joke will only work for people that are about as old as I am, which y'all know how old I am. So here's the joke, okay? So all of you guys that remember, now Travis Kelce will be the one dancing like this guy. You're welcome. And no, I didn't have to search too hard for that. I don't understand this next story. This is a story that would only happen in today's world. 6 count them, 6 MMA fighters will be going on to a class for the FBI. I'm sorry, will be teaching a class for the FBI so that the FBI can be more deadly. They are coming to help train recruits for more hand-to-hand combat and what is being called, quote, helping the world's greatest law enforcement agency be even more prepared to protect the American people, end quote. That's right, Jorge, and I'm going to pronounce all of these names wrong, so I apologize in advance. Jorge Masvidal, Chris Weidman, Justin Gaethje, Claudia Gadlaha, Manel Cape, Michael Chandler will be joining forces to help us out, but to me, I think they're better with their guns. I don't know about you, but I would prefer my FBI have guns. To be clear, this is not a story I want to read because of the content of the story. I'm sorry, because of who is in the story, but because of the content in the story. Because I despise this man just as much as I despise LeBron James. If you have to tell people you're the best at something, you're not the best at something. That's all I'm going to say. People will see if you are the best at something. Anyway. But there's a break in the bro code. Because it's being reported that Tom Brady is now seeing his best friend's ex-wife, Nahale something. She apparently they met each other at a Halloween party. They apparently left together. And Scooter Braun, who is the ex-husband and Tom Brady's best friend, says it's totally fine with him. Her name is Yale Cohen Braun. And it's totally fine with him that they're dating, as long as they're making each other happy. Blech. I'm sorry, but there's no way I'm dating. If my ex broke up, if my ex broke up with someone, if my friend broke up with someone or left a relationship with someone, and they're my best friend, obviously I would know why they separated. And unless he's saying that it was Scooter's fault, why would you go and date your best friend? Because you know how... I don't know. I just don't understand this story. I think they're in a throuple. For those of you Tom Brady haters out there, maybe he's the bitch of the both of them. I don't know. This next story, while it caught me off guard, does not surprise me whatsoever. It is being reported that Kim Jong-un and his 12-year-old daughter were recently seen together firing bullets at a weapons factory during an inspection. Not sure. I'm sorry, she's 13 years old. Supposedly she's going to be taking over for him. I don't know anything about her. I've never heard of her. But I really don't pay attention to North Korean news. Only if it's something worth announcing. And apparently that was, because Producer Man wrote it into the rundown. Anyway, so it's time to kick off the show with the segments like we always love to do. And today I'm doing 3 of my favorite segments. And 2 of my favorite segments and one that was already in here. I think it's funny enough for you to show. I think it's funny to show you. So yeah, sit back, relax. It's time for What's Wrong Here? So have you ever gone to the grocery store and come back and going through your items realize something's not right with this item? Or even maybe you notice it at the store. That's what we're looking at today. It's Grocery Items Edition. Here's the first one. I have never seen this, but fun fact. And here's a little nugget of information because I have random knowledge in my brain. I have a friend who has a chicken that lays Easter eggs. They're colored. They're speckled. I want to see them. Anyway. Here's the first picture. Now, I don't know, maybe this is what they call a hard-boiled double egg, but there's 2 shells to that egg. Here's the next one. Now, I hate seafood. Can't stand it. When I was growing up, during Lent, we always had fish sticks for however many weeks Lent is. 6 weeks. I can't stand fish sticks. I can't stand fish. Can't stand the smell of it. The texture, I don't know. I just can't stand fish. So, but I am smart enough in the fish knowledge to know that in 2 clams is not a starfish. I don't get it either. Here's the next one. I don't know. I can understand maybe a little piece of metal getting in a food that they recall, you know, whatever, and getting past inspection. But how did this pass inspection? There's a nut in the pickles. Maybe someone needed nuts for their pickle. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be a penis joke. I don't know. Because it surely flopped, but was funnier in my head. Anyway. Here's the next one. Have you ever bought a box of spaghetti that was still all together? I think their chopping machine broke. Just me, but... Now, here's another nugget of random information that I know. Don't know why I know it, but I know it. So, here's the info. If you get a pizza, like a frozen pizza, and you open it up and like the pepperonis are all on one side, or you get a multi-topping pizza and everything's on one side, that is why when you cook it that way, it like bows, because the temperature, something about the weight of a pizza has to be even, otherwise the lighter side is going to go up. So I can understand when your toppings come off after buying a frozen pizza, but I've never seen it to where the crust came off. Here's the next one. This kind of weirds me out. Have you ever got a thing of butter and opened it realizing there was a bite taken out of it? Either that person has mice or... and why would you just eat a chunk of butter? Like, it's not cut with a knife. There's teeth marks. Who's grabbed a stick of butter and just eaten it before? I'm going to get a ton of emails from people. Here's the next one. Have you ever gone out and bought a bag of mixed vegetables only to come home and cook it and find a bag of corn with 1 carrot in it? Yeah. Here's the next one. Now, I like to see people that grow bees, whatever they're called, I can't think of the name of them, doing honey. I like local honey. I personally don't like honey because of the texture and it's sticky, but I like to see when people make it in their own yards, or like, you know what I mean. However, I don't need proof of it. Here's the next one. Now, this one took me a minute. A friend of mine sent me this picture. It was literally a friend of mine, not making this up. A friend of mine sent me this picture, and it took me a minute, but I finally figured it out. So, have you ever heard of those Airhead drops, or Airhead little nuggets, or whatever they're called? Okay, so look at the bag. There's watermelon, blue raspberry, cherry, orange, and mystery. Look in the person's hand. There's a red, a white, a yellow. Are they promoting a flavor we don't know about? Is it banana? Is it lemon? Is it but lemon? Or is it lanana? You don't know. Or did someone get fired because they didn't mix the color right? I don't know. I am not a fan of Rocky Road ice cream. I am sure as hell not a fan of Vanilla Toad ice cream. I tried to debunk that picture, but even the frog looks cold, like it's been frozen. But how in the hell did that happen? Anyway. Another thing you guys know I like to do here on the show is find signs that are just funny. Whether they're signs on street corners, whether they're signs in the bathrooms, or even signs at businesses where they try to make them funny. I love to show them. And it's now time for this week's edition of Take It As a Sign. Oh, it helps if I select it. Let's try that again. It's time for a new edition of Take It As a Sign. I should have taken it as a sign not to do the sketch when the picture wasn't out. Anyway, I think these are funny. Here's the first one. My boss told me to have a good day, so I left. Here's the next one. 3 symptoms of being lazy. Now, if I were doing that, I would have just put 3. Here's the next one. My relationship with whiskey is on the rocks. I hope you're over 21 and get that joke. If you're 2 and you're laughing at that joke, you might have a problem. What's your mama putting in your baba? Better yet, what's dada putting in your baba? I don't know, I'm like talking like a baby. Anyway, here's the next one. In search of fresh vegetable puns, let us know. Here's the next one. That awkward moment when a zombie is looking for brains and walks right by you. That would happen to me. I'd be like, oh my gosh, here comes the zombie, someone save me! And then he just walks right by. Here's the next one. I didn't mean to push all of your buttons. I was just trying to hit mute. Here's the next one. To the thief that took my antidepressants, I hope you're happy. Ba-cha! That's right. I do my own sound effects if I can't have my soundboard people. I'm trying to click the button. There we go. Am I getting older? Is the supermarket music finally good? I know I didn't read that right, but it said the same thing. That's also why I put them up there, so you can read them correctly. Now this one, I'm not going to read to you. This one, I want you to read by yourself, and you'll understand why. Enjoy. How many of you noticed that was wrong? I did, because I'm weird about typos. I was like, why did they do that? Why did they move the F to the right? Yeah, and then I realized. And then I read the second line. I was like, oh. Anyway, and finally, I'll take the high road. You take the psychopath. Yeah. Now, as you guys all know, even though I'm a bazillionaire from making the show, I'm not really. But if it gets me friends, you're still paying for everything, though. Forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. For those of you who know me, I am a cheap ass and never really have money to do anything, even though I pretend like I'm rich and famous. But I like to spend some money, and in areas where I don't spend money is on games on my phone. I mean, I will buy like a package of coins or something like that, but I'm not going to pay a company just not to have ads. Okay? That to me is a waste of money. If I get a bonus with it, great. If it helps me in the game, great. If it's just because I was not seeing an ad, I'm not doing it. So, but in order to, because of doing that, I get to find stupid things in ads and or games that just make you think twice. It's time for a new segment that I like to call Game Over. Don't know why it's not playing. I don't know what happened there. Let's see if it'll go now. No. Just pretend like it went and it worked. Okay. There we go. Get it off my screen, please. Thank you. I don't know if that worked the last time I filmed. I really wasn't paying attention. Anyway, now I can tell my computer. There we go. It might have just frozen my computer, so I apologize if there was a flicker. Make sure it's still recording me. So this is an ad for a game. I can't remember the game, but I just don't understand why you would advertise in the advertisement of the game that you can purchase these in the game. I don't get it. But then again, I'm not in advertising. I'm not in advertising. Here's the next one. For some reason, it's not showing up on my screen now. So we'll... Oh, there it was. Okay, what's going on now? My computer is being weird. There we go. I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened, but my picture wouldn't come up and then my computer froze. So we're going to keep trying here and see what happens. But here's the next one. Now, I like to do this game. It's called nanograms. And like you have numbers out to this side and numbers on the top, and you have to fill in the grid with where the dots go, and it makes a picture. I don't think that this is a picture, and I think they just threw a name on it. But it says it's supposed to be a computer. Same game, next item, supposed to be a pen. I don't get it. Then again, I don't make the games. Here's the next one. Now, a friend sent me this one. Same friend that sent me the other picture. No, it wasn't Producer Man. Why would he help the show? He makes me do all the work. Except for rundown stories that no one cares about. But it took me a minute. And I even texted my friend back and I said, I don't get it. And they said, just look really hard at the picture. And then it dawned on me. It's a Coca-Cola truck in the bottom right corner, but they're selling Pepsi in the truck because there's a banner for Pepsi. So if you are the one making games, I'm just letting you know, maybe, just maybe, you should pay attention to little details like that. Here's the next one. Now this game, it's a color by pixel. And it's like a color by number, but you color little squares in, and it's just kind of relaxing for me. And it shuts my mind down for a little bit. And then I stop playing it, my mind speeds up. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, and I guarantee you you're going to see exactly where my mind went. The next few I actually found myself. So here it is. I don't know why you would make this the first thing that someone's going to color in a color by pixel. I don't even remember what it turned out to be. I think it was a pumpkin. And I think that was the handle. Or the stem, I guess. Here's the next one. Back to the nanogram game. While it looks like a tree, it's actually a bar. And I'm not making their names up. Like, they're putting what they're supposed to be on there. Here's the next one. Now, this one is like a puzzle game, but it gives you different parts of a picture, and you have to put that one item together. For example, the one I was working on in doing this was a farm. So I'm thinking that this was supposed to be a silo. I don't know. Because I didn't end up doing it. Now, this is an ad for a game where it's called, it's probably on the ad somewhere. But it's like you get spools and you have to click the color of the thread in the picture to put it on the spool. And in the ad, they want you to start off right there. Again, details. Here's the next one, back to the nanograms. It's supposed to be a GPS, but to me, it's more like an owl head. I don't get it. Whoever made these should be fired. They weren't even close, in my opinion, to what they were supposed to be. I still don't see the GPS. I can kind of see the computer. I can kind of see the pen. I can kind of see the bar. I definitely do not see anything in that last picture. And finally, this was in a color by pixel. I think this was the final product after I had colored it, and I won a fun ticket. Or at least say ticket ride or not fun ticket. Then again, maybe it's only my mind that's going there. And now all of yours. I'm kidding. The good news is the show's over, though. So that's great news for some people. I hope my show's not screwed up from the little malfunction we had here. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate. And I'm going to promise that I will get all 10 episodes of this season done. We're going to do it. I believe in us. Third time's the charm. We've got this. So I will see you for the next 10 Sundays. Maybe post Monday. It's going to be Sunday or Monday. But please, here's my show email address. I'm never on TikTok. I don't even know if I still have it on my phone. And while you're sitting there getting ready to exit my video, please like, subscribe, get the notifications anytime I post one of my episodes, because you never know, it might be a year from now. Who knows? So, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, everybody, that is all I'm saying.